Hello everyone, welcome to BATV Test of Champions Fan Doosra show powered by Dafa News. Weather update की बात करें then we all are happy क्योंकि the sky is blue, there are no clouds, but I'm a little bit concerned क्योंकि संचित आज conversation पे है. Yesterday, just in case you guys don't know, weather update एकदम सही था, no rain predicted, but Sanchit was on the live and as soon like start में ही अचानक से update आया कि it's raining and covers are on. Sanchit.
क्या बोल सकते हैं मतलब it's unbelievable even on the WhatsApp chat when everyone was predicting the final score of New Zealand I said 235 and then 236 पे they almost survived an all out मतलब एक रन के difference है मतलब it's unbelievable at this point.
So Sanchit, in that sense, what's the prediction for today's match? क्या होने वाला है? At least
Well, as I said yesterday, it is very difficult to balance between being.
Sorry, but reverse jinx कर, please reverse jinx कर. Please उल्टा बोलना.
आज बॉम्बे में बारिश आई थी. It's not rained in Bombay for the last 3 days. I think it will rain in Bombay today instead of England.
I hope so. I hope so. I would really like to switch the Bombay weather with Southampton weather any day. So, but talking about my prediction, I think as I said, it's really difficult to balance between being emotional and being practical ahead of a big day. I mean, let's face it, India, as we know what happened on the pre-show, on the post-show yesterday, all the debate about whether India should be dreaming about the victory or not, but I really don't want to upset all the viewers, but I feel India is not in a position to force a result at this moment. I think we have a test match to save at least in the first two sessions, and losing two wickets yesterday, it really was a big blow to our batting order, and we know that the Duke's ball swings a lot in these conditions, and it's really going to be interesting phase in the next 1 hour when the teams come on to bat. And I really liked how Virat Kohli came on to bat with that approach. I mean, to be honest, many were expecting someone like a night watchman to come in, but the way Virat Kohli came on to bat with all that intensity and approach, I think that gives us some positive vibes as Indian fans. But as I said, I think we have to save the Test match first before we I look for a Indian victory, an improbable Indian victory. But I really don't see that happening as of now.
Fair enough. Drupad, what's your take? All three results possible, or which one are you waiting for?
Yeah, I'll agree with Sanjit. We are in a very tricky situation right now. I would hate to say that we are not in a situation to force a result because if you see practically, if you look at the scoreboard, yes, we are not considering it's a final. If it was any random match, we would have gone for the kill if it was a series or something. But it's a WTC, it's a test final, so it's gonna be tricky. But again, the first session is gonna be very important for us, and I would love that if we lose not more than just one wicket in this session, the first session, and go, and then when we come again, bat for 15 or 15 odd overs and bat at a good run rate, so that you up the score, and then you give New Zealand at least 50 to 60 overs to bat. 50 I would say. Even Akash Chopra had mentioned that just give 50 overs to New Zealand for a target of 200 runs. Then you will have a chance to, because I know that if that is the situation, New Zealand is also a team which will not hold back. They will go for the kill as well, because we all know that India and New Zealand both have been deprived of a ICC trophy since a very long time. And both the captains, although they are very different in nature, like one is fire, one is ice, but they both want a result right now. So if that happens, that if India is giving New Zealand a target of say 200 to 20 in like 50 overs, New Zealand will go for the chase, and then we also have an equal opportunity to, like, if we go for the chase, we have the opportunity to take wickets as well. So it's going to be a very fierce contest in the last 1.5 months, one session.
Okay, अभी ध्रुपद एक बार सिर्फ बोल रहे कि आज बहुत ज़्यादा बारिश होने वाली है. एक बार तो.
So that we can make sure that there is no rain that's happening at all.
Southampton में flood आने वाला है guys.
So in fact there were some New Zealand fans yesterday जिन्होंने actually scuba का kit पहना था, like snorkeling का. Anyway, Drupad, you mentioned about going for the kill. Before we discuss a little bit further on this, Ronak, I already know your opinions on this since we spoke yesterday, or you were listening to yesterday. Anyway, Afzal, your take on this. Win, lose, draw, क्या हो रहा है?
So actually जिस हिसाब से कल बॉलिंग हुई है दोनों टीम्स की, उस हिसाब से हमने 10 ओवर लूज किए कल के पूरे दिन में, क्योंकि इंडिया को 40 ओवर बैटिंग करनी थी, पर हमने 30 ही ओवर बैटिंग कर पाए. तो वो 10 ओवर और जिस हिसाब से ओवर रेट रहा है टीम्स का, उसके चलते मुझे ये लगता है कि इंडिया का विन इस स्टेज पे पॉसिबल होगा, बिकॉज सामने वाले न्यूजीलैंड की टीम में 5 पेसर्स है इफेक्टिवली, अगर आप कॉलिन डी ग्रैंडम को भी कंसिडर करें तो उसके चलते मुझे लगता है कि आज पूरे 98 ओवर्स का खेल नहीं हो पाएगा। शायद हमें 85 से 90 ओवर्स देखने मिले और उसके अंदर एक रिजल्ट फोर्स कर पाना बहुत डिफिकल्ट हो कि आप न्यूजीलैंड को एटलीस्ट 45 से 50 ओवर तक बैटिंग करवाए।
हाँ.
और अगर वो होता है तो फिर आपके पास सिर्फ 40 ओवर बचते हैं बैटिंग करने के लिए, इंक्लूडिंग द 2 ओवर जो चेंज ओवर के लिए हो गए। सो उसके अंदर एक कॉम्पिटिटिव टोटल सेट करना और फिर टारगेट देना इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट फॉर द इंडियन टीम। तो इसीलिए बेहतर है कि मैच ड्रॉ हो जाए और दोनों टीम्स जिन्होंने इतना अच्छा खेला है पिछले 2 साल में उनको एक ट्रॉफी फाइनली मिल ही जाए।
Okay, Rupert, you mentioned about going for the kill, but I'll throw this question to Ronak. Agar if we are actually assuming that India actually aggressive approach se ja rahi hai, for that, do you foresee any changes in the batting order, like maybe Rishabh Pant coming in, Jadeja
Yeah.
coming in?
Yeah, so I see it in two ways, and I think today I'll play the devil's advocate, wherein I say that what are the chances, however minimal, for India to win. So the option one is that India is forcing a result, whereby right now we are effectively 30 for 2. Considering we play the first session without losing many wickets, or maybe losing only Pujara, we have Kohli on crease.
Yeah.
And assuming 30 overs happen in the first section and we get around 80 runs, we would effectively be 110 for 3 after the end of first session, which is very much possible. It's not like it's a big thing. Then maybe I get Pant in and just let him play as he plays. I mean, there can be a situation where he gets a quick fire 50 and we are in a position where we score around 100 runs in 20 overs. There is also a position where he gets out on the first ball itself, and we are back to square one. And then we shut shop. We let Rahane, we let Jadeja, we let Kohli just play out the innings and go for a draw. But if either a Pant or a Jadeja even gets a quick fire 30 or 40, not a 50 or 60, even if they get around 80 to 90 runs in 20 overs, that effectively means that India will have a lead of around 200 in 50 overs played. So New Zealand will have to chase 200 runs in 50 overs, which again, it's a risky situation. New Zealand can go for the kill, but that's the only way India can win. For this to happen, a lot of things need to fall in our place. Virat Kohli needs to be there on crease. Rishabh Pant needs to have a good fiery innings. Jadeja needs to have a fiery innings. All the New Zealand pace bowlers needs to flop. I mean, they also need to flop for this to happen. And then after that, we need to take 10 wickets of New Zealand. So a lot of it needs to be a 10 on 10 day for India to win this. But this is one option. And second is if India get all out at around with a lead of 150, where New Zealand have to chase 150 runs, around 150 runs in 50 overs. In that situation, New Zealand will go for the win. And with the prospect of a win, New Zealand can commit some mistakes and India can capitalize on that. So those are the two possible chances. It'll be interesting to see whether we force a result or we wait for the situation to unfold now.
Yeah. In fact, Robert, when you mentioned regarding कि बहुत सारे situation have to go in our favor, उनका collapse, अपना batting fire, सबको fire. It reminds me of Avengers के end में था ना, end game में, like Doctor Strange just looks at possibilities and says we need one exact possibility जहाँ पर perfectly सब fall होगा. Anyway, Dhruv, you're raising your hand. Go on.
Yeah, exactly. See, we can discuss right now like what do we want and what can happen, but it all depends on how the first session goes.
Yeah.
Right. If we are not losing more than one wicket, and I hope that's not Kohli's wicket, I think we will come back hard after lunch and like bat for 10 to 15 overs and like look with intent of scoring maximum runs in that corridor of play. So that will be a decider on how we'll go for the match. So the first session is going to be very important. Just don't lose. I would say don't lose any wicket at 70, 60 runs if possible, or even like what's the score. And I know that Virat Kohli will bat with intent. He won't be holding back. And considering we have Pujara at the other end, it's going to be difficult for him to just go for the flow of runs because we know that he is not that kind of a player. So Kohli needs to just hold up his strike and let's hope that we have a good first session because that's the only way we can even think of having a result at the end of the match in our favor.
Completely agree. I think first session काफी important होने वाला है. Sanchit, you raised your hand. You want to say something?
Yes, I really liked how like the point made by Drupad about the importance of Pujara. We all talked about how Virat Kohli will be instrumental in our hope for a victory, but we have to also consider the fact that we are also here to save the test match. And I think having Pujara bat as long as he can from one end will actually help us to provide that stability. We can have someone like Virat Kohli going in for the approach, and while at the other end, Pujara needs to be there. Maybe playing like Kane Williamson did for New Zealand in the previous innings, because we saw even New Zealand weren't going at a quicker rate, at least till 130 runs, and when they had a collapse between 130 for 5 they were, but the Indian bowlers got tired and we were missing our lengths, that is when they pounced on us. So maybe we could have a similar approach as well. We could play the first session cautiously, not looking to lose too many wickets, and when they are tired and when they are not in the rhythm, even if it means even they are not in a rhythm for 20 to 25 minutes, like how Mohammad Shami got tired after taking 4 wickets and how they pounced on us. Maybe that's when someone like Virat Kohli, Pant, Jadeja, and even Pujara, we know how he
Right.
paces his innings after reaching the 50 runs mark. That's when we could target the New Zealand bowlers. But as Ronak rightly said, I think lots of things need to go in our way for India to force a result. Maybe it could even work in our favor because we know that at this point only one team is likely to win this Test match, and that is New Zealand. So they may come hard at us. They will be looking to ball those fuller deliveries, looking for wickets, and maybe that could even lead to quicker runs from our end also. So it has to be a battle between fire and fire when we are batting, especially when someone like Virat Kohli is at the crease. So lots of things needs to go our way, but for the first session we need to play it very sensibly and bat with caution.
Yeah,
Fair.
there's
Yeah. So Drupal, you're raising your hand.
Yeah, no, exactly. What we were discussing on the group as well in the yesterday. What we missed the trick is that we could have had Jadeja play the way Jamieson played in the first innings. So right now we just need
Yeah.
both Jadeja and Pant because they both are natural hitters of the ball. We know
Yeah.
what they are capable of when they come to hit. So that their role will be very important as much as we need Kohli and Putara to stay on the crease.
Right. Totally agree with that. Something you're
Yeah, there's a comment on YouTube by Akshat. Let's hope India can produce a miracle today, as miracles do happen in cricket.
Absolutely. Let's we are really hoping कि ऐसा कुछ हो जाए. In fact, there's an interesting comment by Dave Cash as well. It's not over here, so I can't read it. It's super long. Anyway, let's focus. Afzal, I want to ask you. अगर चलो.
Yeah, we
Awesome.
got the
I love this chat. I love this show. Anyway, Dave Cash mentions if 90 overs happen today, India would surely play 45 to 50 overs, and if they score with a run rate of 3 per over, they will have a score around 150. So most probably around a lead of 200 runs in 50 overs for Kiwis. This can be a risk. Now, Afzal, this question is to you. Will India take this risk?
I think yes.
वो लोग रिस्क तभी लेंगे जब स्टार्टिंग का 1 घंटा उनके फेवर में जाता है और कोई विकेट नहीं लूज करते हो, क्योंकि आपके प्रोबेबली 2 बेस्ट स्टेबल बैटर्स अभी क्रीज पे बैटिंग कर रहे हैं. एक एंड पे पुजारा एंड होल्ड कर सकते हैं और ऑपोजिट एंड पे विराट कोहली और बाकी प्लेयर्स जो है, जैसा अभी ध्रुपद ने मेंशन किया कि ऋषभ पंत, रविंद्र जडेजा, वो लोग वैसे हिटर्स आना बाकी है. तो आपके लिए पहला 1 घंटा बहुत क्रूशियल होगा. अगर आप कोई विकेट लूज नहीं करते हो, भले आप 30-35 रन भी बनाते हो पहले 1 घंटे में और विकेट नहीं खोते हो, तो फिर आपके पास एक अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म बन जाता है कि आपके हिटर्स आके कैपिटलाइज कर सकते हैं. बट वही आप अगर पहले 1 घंटे में अनफॉर्चुनेटली 1 या 2 विकेट लूज कर देते हो, तो फिर आपका अप्रोच पूरी की पूरी तरह ड्रॉ के लिए खेलना हो जाएगा और आप मैच बचाने की ट्राई करोगे और ज्यादा से ज्यादा देर बैटिंग करने की ट्राई करोगे. तो यही है कि जैसा हमने ऑस्ट्रेलिया सीरीज में देखा था कई बार कि हमने आखिरी गैबा टेस्ट में भी आपके एक एंड पे पुजारा आपका पूरी इनिंग को होल्ड करके रख रहे थे. वही आज फिर इम्पोर्टेंट हो जाएगा कि आपका एक एंड होल्ड किया जाता रहे और आप दूसरे एंड से अटैक करें, ना कि दोनों एंड से अटैक करने जाए और विकेट्स खो दे और एक कोलैप्स हो जाए, जो हम नहीं चाहते हैं यहाँ पर.
Right. Somewhere I feel India का approach can be कि first session like you guys rightly mentioned कि थोड़ा calmly खेलो, सोच समझ के settle हो जाओ, and then probably if a wicket falls we can have Jadeja or someone like Rishabh Pant hitting, and if we sense कि ये लोग भी out हो रहे हैं then just bring in Rahane. तो पुजारा रहाणे अगर शांति से खेल के we can probably go for a draw as well. Anyway, I just want to ask you guys one by one. Sanchit, starting with you. Ideally, what should be a good target considering कि हम लोग we tempt them to go for a win and manage to get them all out as well. So what is the target that you're looking for? Considering we already have a lead of 32 runs, somewhere we guys are forgetting this. 32 ka already lead hai. So even if you mention 200, it's just 170 runs away.
I think ideally we should look to bat at least till T session. I know that 38 overs might not be enough to bowl them over, but we need, it all depends upon how we play the first innings. If we, first session, sorry. So if we lose not more than 1 wicket in the first session, then we can accelerate in the second session with the wickets in hand. So maybe we could look at a target above 200 or 220 for that, in fact. But if things go wrong realistically looking, then maybe batting till T, saving the test match should be an ideal approach. So judging by my prediction, I think we should look to have at least 35 to 38 overs to be bowling at them, and with a target around 180 to 200 should be. I think that should tempt them to go for the chase, but I don't see. I think India would really like to win, but everything depends upon the first session. I feel if we lose too many wickets, then we will be looking to play to save the test match by playing till T. But if we don't, then who knows? We could even give them 50 overs.
Sure. Dhruvan, what's your take on this?
Yeah, Sanchit, but I also want to highlight the fact that which Ronak had mentioned that there are two situations right now. Either we can get all out for a lead of 150 and then New Zealand has a sure shot victory in their hands, or we go for the we come out after the tea session, lunch, and we bat a bit faster, and we can get a lead of 200, 220. And I know Sanjit mentioned can give them a corridor of 35 to 30 overs, but I would still want them to bat at least somewhat more than 40 overs. So even our bowlers have some time to, because it's very difficult to bowl out a team like New Zealand because they have a good batting lineup. I know even if they go for a kill, it's going to be very difficult to get them all out in 35 to 30 overs, irrespective of what the score is. And knowing the way Jamieson and Grandham are batting first innings, if they are going for the kill, they will bat even in a better rhythm when they are going for the kill. So that's going to be difficult. So I would still want that go for a 200, 220 run lead. For that, we need to bat well in the first session and then also in the second session, score quick runs and give around 45, 50 overs to New Zealand if possible. And that would not guarantee, but give some chance for our bowlers, because we don't have a lot of bowlers. We have just three seam bowlers to be precise. So it's going to be difficult for three pacers to get all the wickets. And let's see if the sun stays out, even Ashwin might come handy.
Yeah.
You never know. So that's what I feel.
Okay.
Ronak, your opinion?
Yeah, so again, I'll stick to what I said yesterday as well. I think the best chance for India to win is if they get all out, not when they declare. If we are in a situation where India is declaring, that means we have taken up enough time in the game, and there is not enough time for us to bowl out New Zealand, unless of course we see a sensational knock by Pant or Jadeja where they're scoring around 80, 90, around 40, 50 balls, which I don't think is happening. So the only way I think, or the most probable way India can bring up a result, if they get all out, they are forced to bowl around 50 overs to New Zealand, 40, 50 overs to New Zealand, giving that bait to New Zealand that, you know what, the target is within your reach. If you want, you go for it, and we will attack you with that. If we are in a situation where we are in a lead of 200 runs, 50 overs left, I don't see Virat Kohli declaring till the fact that we are in a very, very safe position where victory for New Zealand is beyond their hands. So for me, as I mean, controversial or ironic it may sound, I would rather want India to get all out at around 160, 170, only if they want to stand a chance to win.
Okay. So 160 adding to the 32-run lead, or 160 as
a target of around anything between 150 to 180. Because that's like a middle target wherein you don't know whether you want to save it, you don't know whether you want to attack it. It's somewhere in between. Like how you have the 250 totals in ODI where you don't know whether to attack from ball one, or you play sensibly at the start. So around 150, 180 is something which will cause some doubts in the mind of New Zealand players as well, whether they play for a draw, whether they play for a win. So the mental battle then shifts to New Zealand, and we are not controlling the situation there then.
Okay, Drupal, you raise your hand.
Yeah, but again, I would like to ask Ronak that considering the batting lineup which New Zealand have, do you really think that we will stand a chance to bowl them out if they are chasing a 150 to 180 runs? Because I don't think that, as you said, that it's going to be a middle ground. Then we might have a realistic chance to maybe bowl them out. But do you really feel that that's going to be possible considering the batting lineup which they have and the depth of batting which they have?
Yeah, couple of things. So all the discussion that we're having right now is considering the fact that India, even with all these situations, have the least chance to win. I mean, they are. Right. I mean, even if all this happens, you can't guarantee an India win. This is the only way where an India win is possible. The chance of India win is possible. With respect to New Zealand's batting as well, they weren't comfortable yesterday as well. I think they were around 120 for 5. And I mean, a couple of cameos by Jamieson and Saudi took it there. And we didn't have our main bowler, Bumrah, bowling in his rhythm. So effectively, it was Shami, Ishant and Ashwin who did bulk of the damage. Again, as I said, for us to win and control or defend this lead, we will require all three of our pacers along with Ashwin to make a difference. And unless and until Bumrah also steps up, it's difficult. So as I'm saying that it's an improbable situation, but the only way where a result in India's favor can happen is if it's not in our control, if it's controlled by New Zealand, and we are just ensuring that we have some runs to defend.
Fair enough. Afzal? What's your take on this? Like, what should be the ideal target? कि चलो, if you're actually going for the kill, if you're going for the win, क्या target पे हमें छोड़ना चाहिए?
तो मैं रौनक की बात से एग्री करता हूँ कि हमें उन्हें 175 का एक आइडियल टारगेट देना चाहिए और 45 से 50 ओवर देने चाहिए बैटिंग करने के लिए, क्योंकि 50 ओवर में अगर 175 चेस करने हैं तो आपको टारगेट आपकी रीच में लग सकता है, और आप अगर उसे चेस करने जाओगे और अटैकिंग बैटिंग करोगे तो आप विकेट्स खो सकते हो, और वही एक आइडियल सिनारियो है जहाँ पे इंडिया इस मैच को जीत सकता है। भले आप ऑल आउट होते हैं 175 की लीड पे या फिर आप डिक्लेयर करते हो, क्योंकि 50 ओवर एक एम्पल टाइम है कि आपके बॉलर्स फ्रेश रह सकते हैं और आपके बॉलर्स अटैक कर सकते हैं ऑपोजिशन को, और 10 विकेट 50 ओवर में लेने की कैपेसिटी है इस बॉलिंग लाइनअप की। तो मेरे हिसाब से 175 रन 50 ओवर, और फिर आप अपने बॉलर्स को इतना समय दीजिए कि वो 10 विकेट ले सके।
So अफसर उसी लिए मतलब that's the main question, मतलब हम लोग बात करते हैं कितना टारगेट देना चाहिए, बट कितने ओवर्स would be ideally enough for Indian bowlers, assuming everyone, मतलब not everyone is in form, क्योंकि बुमराह ने इतने विकेट्स नहीं पिक किए, that is also a possibility in this. तो वैसे में कितने ओवर्स would be sufficient कि चलो हम लोग ऑल डाउन कर सकते हैं?
50 ओवर्स इनफ है इस बॉलिंग लाइनअप के लिए, क्योंकि आप इफेक्टिवली डे 5 की पिच पे खेल रहे हो जहाँ पे ऑलरेडी इतना सारा खेल हो चुका है। आपके पास क्लियरली फुटमार्क्स विजिबल है। कल वेरिएबल बाउंस था जब इंडिया की बैटिंग कर रही थी, कोहली के बैट के हैंडल पे जाके बॉल्स लग रहे थे, एक बॉल जाके हेलमेट पे लगा, जबकि रोहित को एक बॉल बहुत लो रहा आउटसाइड दी ऑफ। तो इसीलिए जो वेरिएबल बाउंस है वो भी प्ले में आएगा, तो वो बहुत इफेक्टिव होगा कि आप 50 ओवर के अंदर उस पिच की कंडीशन के साथ आप ऑल आउट कर सकते हो ऑपोजिशन टीम।
Interesting. Sanchit, how many overs will be enough for Indian bowlers? Like, कितने में हम लोग उन्हें take down कर सकते हैं?
Yeah, I agree with what Afzal and Ronak said. I think 45 to 50 overs should be the ideal number of overs for India to bowl them out. And also, one interesting thing that might happen with the less number of overs is that if let's say we have a situation of like 40 overs and 180 runs to chase, then New Zealand might look to accelerate and go for the target at one point. And unfortunately, we only have 3 seamers. So if we have more number of overs, then there is a possible chance that they may get tired at the end stages, like what happened in the first inning. So less number of overs could actually play in our favor, as our bowlers can look to attack the New Zealand bowlers from ball one, which wasn't the case in the first inning. So we know that New Zealand will be going in for the chase if the target is between 150 to 180, as Ronak and Afzal rightly said. So maybe that could be the situation that might play in our favor if New Zealand look to attack. But if they are not looking to attack, then I think that doesn't that is not going to help in our favor. But we want New Zealand to attack, and as Ronak has said that for us to win, we should be ready to lose as well.
Yeah, मतलब it will be weird अगर हम लोग पूरे winning के instinct से जाके उन्हें target दे देते हैं and they just start playing defensive as soon as they come to bat. That will be the worst thing as a cricket fan I would want to watch. Anyway, we asked Afzal, we asked Sachin as well. Rupal, what about you? कितने overs?
Yes, same. I don't think I have a different opinion on this. Again, 45-50 overs should be good enough for our bowlers to be like, considering the fact we just have 3 fast bowlers, so we need to be show some mercy for them as well to be a bit fresh and come out all guns blazing and have that much overs in your bank. And I think that will only be that will give us a good chance to like bowl them out, because they have a good batting lineup. We can't deny that, and we can't also deny that we have a great bowling lineup as well. The 3 seamers, the way Shami bowled in the first innings, and we know that Mohammad Shami is a great 4th innings bowler. We can't forget that fact as well. So if he like adds up to his form and comes out all guns blazing, and I think we should be good to go. But again, as much as I hate to say the fact that we all are hating rain so much, but just imagine if there was no rain, the match wouldn't have been so interesting till on the day 6, right?
Yeah.
So I think अभी तक result आ चुका होता, और result कैसा होता we know कि I mean सब day 5 तक पता चल जाता कि who's gonna win or who's not gonna. But right now, even in the last session, we won't be sure that who's gonna take the game home, considering the fact that both are in equal situation to win the match. If India gets all out pretty early, we know that and New Zealand has a better chance to win the match. So whatever happens, we are in a very good seat as a fan as well, and to watch the match. So let's hope that we have a good game of cricket in the end. I mean, whoever wins, we want a good game of cricket. And
So basically, Bharat,
Indian fan, you want India.
you won.
Oh my God! इतना stressful है.
I was saying, as an Indian fan, you want India to win, but in the end, a good game of cricket won't harm anyone as well. That's what I.
Completely agree with that. मतलब as long as I feel as of until now काफी अच्छा टेस्ट मैच देखने मिला हम लोग को. Rain and all did spoil players spoil sport, but it was really a worthy of a final. You see something?
या वही बोल रही थी मैं.
Oh my god. Okay. So Ronak, I didn't ask you. कितने overs for the Indian bowlers?
Pretty similar to what everyone said. I think in the second innings for us, Jadeja and Ashwin will play a much more crucial role in the first they played in the first inning, and invariably we might be one or two bowlers extra because we didn't see that much of Ashwin and Jadeja in the first inning. So I think in the second innings, with the sun coming out, the pitch drying up a little, and I think they are more suited to clean up the tail than maybe our fast bowlers are. So Ashwin Jadeja to the tail enders are, I think, a very good prospect, and I see more of Ashwin coming in the second innings. So that way, I'm still hopeful that we still have the arsenal to take 10 wickets, considering our spinners also will be put into action this inning. But again, as we are saying, the probability of India winning is 5% for this test match, and we are discussing the best possible outcome for that 5% itself. So again, a draw is a more likely outcome, but even if we get a test match wherein it's gone to the last session, last final hour, any result is possible. I think that itself will be a great thing.
Completely agree. मतलब मेरे हिसाब से इंडिया के जीतने के chances बढ़ जाएंगे if we go with this fans' opinion. Ashish was mentioning, please ask Sanchit to jinx New Zealand. Sanchit, can we please expect something from you?
Well, New Zealand are cruising towards a victory, which
Oh, is that what you're saying since yesterday? उसके लिए you're saying New Zealand जीत रही है. Well, good one over there. Yeah, Drupadi raising her.
Yeah, as Ronak mentioned that we just have 5% chance of winning the test match. Remember that in Gabba we had 0% chance of winning the test match before the match started. So that is a good thing that 0% chance tha India ka match jitne ka. We won the match, so like it was a very close match in the end, but we won that. So at least we have 5% chances. So that's a very great probability for us to win this match compared to the Gabba test. And both were equally important in the context of the series as well. So yeah, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Let's do one thing. Let's have a look at a video that Bharat has sent right from Southampton, and let's enjoy. देखते क्या माहौल है वहाँ पर.
Sun is shining, the weather is sweet. Bob Marley. You know you're Bob Marley. Well done. Okay, well listen, let's hope the sun shines and also glory shines for India today. It's day 6, the first day 6 of Test cricket, I think in over 40 odd years or so. They've not had one since 1975. It's in this country. So here we go into this day. Let's just reflect on yesterday. What did we see? What went on through your eyes, Akshay?
Yeah, well, I think it was very clear, in the morning, in the breakfast show yesterday, we had a clear plan of what India needed to do. It was a big ask as well to get to a victory, and it required us to get early wickets. It was a bit of a slow start, but we managed to get the 3 wickets in the first session. Patience prevailed in the end. Going into the second session, we needed them all out, and to be fair, we bowled really, really well. And we were all over the moon when we got the 10 wickets. We thought we were in with a chance here. I did think that the New Zealand batsmen were a bit defensive. I think Kane Williamson has sort of, because of the good bowling, he sort of resigned to the fact that this could be a draw, and he was, not willing to give his wicket away to risk, posting a big total and putting the pressure on India. So that was a bit disappointing for us fans, but it didn't matter to us. We still, got the wickets within the time plan for the first 2 sessions.
It's an interesting point on Kane Williamson because I wasn't too sure what his intent was or what his tactics were with the way he played, but New Zealand ended up getting to a lead. So whatever his plan was, he succeeded because he put us on the back foot. And although we said we want to get them all out by the second session, they got a few too many runs for our liking, and so it kind of tipped it in their favour to an extent. And then close the play, us losing our second wicket, Rohit Sharma, while us not getting as many runs we wanted, I think that has put us on the back foot slightly and taken the chances of an India win. It's reduced our chances slightly.
Yeah, you seem a little bit nervous right now. So
I wouldn't say nervous. Just say I think it's more challenging to get a result given the plan that New Zealand had and the fact that they got a few too many runs. If Rohit Sharma was still in, he could have come in and maybe had a free pass to play his natural game, and that could have got us some quick runs and given us a chance to set them a total and get Ashwin and Jadeja on the ball to bowl them out.
I think Rohit Sharma should have had the free pass to play his natural game yesterday. I wasn't very happy with the intent the Indian batsmen came out and played with. I thought they played traditional Test match cricket, but the match situation required them to play a different style of Test match cricket, which they didn't do.
It was difficult in those conditions to score runs. So for them to play with a different style, despite the fact that we needed the runs, it's not as easy as like for us. Like, bro, you play like lower level cricket, right? So, sorry, go on, continue.
But yeah, I think. I've lost my train of
He's just criticising your level of cricket. Somehow, I think we're comparing the way you play cricket to Test cricket.
But you know, it's easy for us to sit here and say, "Oh, they should have done that. They should have done this," but they're international players, right? They would have judged that situation. Cody, you saw when Cody got that first wicket, he still wanted that win. He still, shout out to Shami, though, he bowled absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
But they were still going for that win, so they would have had a plan.
So, talking to the plan, tell me about now, going into today. What's got to happen?
Yeah, I think they have to come out with a different intent. They've got to go out and play a bit more aggressive cricket, take a few more risks. You know, as India fans ourselves, speaking to a lot of people yesterday, we're happy to risk losing to try and win. And, you know, you got Rishabh Pant coming next, you got Jadeja in the lineup as well. And if we can bat aggressively for 30, 40 overs, gives us a chance for just under 2 sessions to get them all out. And you know, we want to see a great day of cricket. We want to see India winning a trophy. Do we want to share the trophy? Absolutely not. Let's go for the win and let's see what we can do.
यार कल रात को जो कॉन्वर्सेशन हुआ था उसमें एक्चुअली मजा आ रहा था लाइक हियर आई हैव 4 पीपल हु ऑल आर सेइंग
अभी मजा नहीं आ रहा है अभी मजा नहीं आ रहा है
there's no banter there's no constant fight over here there's everyone is agreeing yeah, I agree with him I agree yesterday it was constant I agree with Dia the other one was saying no I disagree with Dia no this that but anyway let's do one thing we'll talk about today's match after a while now as of now let's just focus on one thing how great this test match final has been I as a cricket fan was really worried कि ये जो format था and how it eventually turned on. 2 साल के बाद it was rain, and suddenly we are seeing cricket and we are actually enjoying this cricket. मतलब 3 days back or 4 days back मैंने सोचा भी नहीं था कि इतनी close match. I wouldn't call it a very evenly poised match as of now, but it's a very close match. और end of the day कोई भी result possible है. So Afzal, has this been like worthy of a final according to you?
Yes, ये पूरा का पूरा जो टूर्नामेंट हुआ है वो ही एक इतना अच्छा टूर्नामेंट था क्योंकि आपने देखा होगा पिछले 2 साल में कितना इंटरेस्टिंग हो गया है टेस्ट क्रिकेट फिर से लाइक जो लोग भी शायद टेस्ट क्रिकेट को एक बोरिंग फॉर्मेट समझ रहे थे या उतना फॉलो नहीं कर रहे थे उनको हमें कितने सारे हिस्टोरिक मोमेंट्स देखने मिले हमें बेन स्टोक्स की हेडिंगली हाइस्ट से लेके हमारा गैबा मिरेकल तक हमने बहुत कुछ देख लिया है यहाँ पे और राइटली सो एक ऐसे फाइनल गेम में आके आखिरी दिन पे रिजर्व डे पे आपके लिए तीनों रिजल्ट्स पॉसिबल है थियोरेटिकली तो इससे बेहतर आपको क्या चाहिए था इस टूर्नामेंट से आप क्या उम्मीद करते थे कि आपका रिजल्ट आखिरी दिन तक आपको पता ना चले कि कौन मैच जीतने वाला है किसके पास जाने वाली है वो ट्रॉफी तो इससे बेहतर कुछ भी नहीं हो सकता इस टूर्नामेंट के लिए मेरे हिसाब से
ध्रुपद
Yep, I totally agree that one point which Afzal made this last 1 year of play of cricket which you have had post the pandemic, we can say that that's a rebirth of Test cricket in India, and not only in India, all over the world, because the kind of cricket which we played in Australia and then in the England series, and now we can't say it's a boring Test match right now, which is going on the final. Both teams have played equal amount of equal level of cricket which we can say. In the first innings, we made 217, they made 240, 250, something like that. So I love that because we are some fans who love Test cricket more than the T20 format of the game. And knowing that right now it's the rebirth of Test cricket, a lot of people are watching Test match, so it's been a great endorsement for the Test for the longer format of the game. And again, talking about this final, again as I said before, that if we didn't have the rain watching out the first whole day and the one day in the between, we wouldn't have been so excited about this last 3 sessions of the match. So good thing, bad thing, it would hurt us, it would hurt New Zealand. In the end, it's gonna be a cracker of a game, and there's gonna be a result, which I feel. There's not gonna be a draw. There is gonna be a result for sure, irrespective of New Zealand winning or India winning. In the hindsight, knowing that we have a very less chance of winning, but I will still back India to win. But again, New Zealand are also but they're in a better position right now to take this test base home. So let's hope that we win. And I am not looking forward to a draw because I really don't see both the captains wanting to share this trophy after knowing the fact that they have not won an ICC trophy in a very long time. And
Yeah.
with Virat Kohli, you know that how unlucky we have been after 2013 Champions Trophy, which we won in the same country. So, yeah.
Yeah, but it's our anniversary to that day, like 23rd June.
Exactly. Today
Yeah.
is the anniversary. Yeah.
It would be the perfect moment too, So अगले साल से we'll have two memories to share, not just this.
Exactly.
And Test of Champions 2021. Anyway, Sanchit, worthy of a final?
Actually, to be honest, I agree with what Drupal has said earlier that the rain has actually made this test match much more livelier than it was supposed to be. We got on till the day 6. I know that it's ironic that I'm saying about rain. So, but I think yes, rain has actually made this test match much more livelier. We got on till day 6 now, and we don't even know what is going to happen. A New Zealand victory, a draw, or even an improbable Indian victory could be on the card. So it's really we were frustrated at the beginning. We were talking
Yeah.
about the whether they hosted it wrong, whether they should have played it somewhere else. But as the days went by, and now we are seeing cricket being played consistently in the last 2 or 3 days. I think it is going getting to be
Yeah.
pretty exciting final, and not just a final. I think the entire tournament has been a splendid one. We all talk about the famous India Australia series in Australia, and also the Ashes, but there were a couple of other games also which actually got the Test cricket the popularity that it
Yeah.
deserves. One of the game that I remember is when West Indies chased that big total in Bangladesh. I think 391 when Kyle Mayers played that magnificent knock of 200, chasing in the fourth innings. I mean, this kind of Test matches actually keep this longish format alive, and it is good to see that this tournament has contributed massively, and this actually deserves a great finale. And I think this today could be a cracker of a day, to be honest.
Completely. I like how 5 दिन पहले we were criticizing. Like it started with us criticizing the rains, and now suddenly we're appreciating it. So not sure if it rains or Rishabh Pant. Like it's same journey, but 5 दिन में इसके 2 साल
Thank me.
Yeah. Sanchit, thanks, man. Yeah, Dhruvan.
I know, as Sanjit said that it's improbable India victory, but we are saying that even after that we have not played such a bad game of cricket.
Yeah.
We are still saying that we might not win the match, but we have not played as bad as we are saying that we might not win the match. And also, as it happened in the previous 2019 World Cup, that India New Zealand big match needed an extra day to finish the game, and the result was in New Zealand's favor. This time we just want it. It's again an extra day of cricket, but we just want the result to be in our favor this time.
Yeah, totally. Interesting comment, interesting question coming by. Jai Hind, dosto, India. Is that a mistake not to include Hardik Pandya for the Test of Champions final? Please reply me. I feel, see, ऐसे players in Indian team में मतलब अगर हार जाएंगे तो we can replace all 15 and say कि यार इसके बदले ये चाहिए था वो चाहिए था, and if we win we can win with the not the our first team as well जो हम लोगों ने 11 में किया था. So it's all about whether in what position we are. If we are in a winning position, we won't even question कि क्यों है क्या है, and then if you're losing, we'll always be like कि ये होता वो होता. With Hardik Pandya, with Bhuvi, I feel a lot has to do with the injuries as well. मतलब they are constantly injury prone, and with a one-off Test match, we can't really risk such players who are injury prone. Drupal, you saying something?
Yeah, see, the thing with Hardik is that his bowling was a concern. That you need him. If you are having him in your team, you want him to bowl consistently. And if we are not taking Hardik, we had an option of taking Shardul Thakur as well, because in the last after the Australia series, he has made his mark as a fast bowling all rounder, rather than being just a fast just being a fast bowler. So we didn't even add Shardul Thakur in our 15 when we announced. So I don't think that it was on the cards. Maybe it would have been, but if Hardik was not fit, we had the option of taking Shardul as well. But again, we wanted to go with our most experienced players, and that's why we didn't go for Siraj as well, and we went for Ashwin.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's going to be of any concern that we didn't have Hardik or Shardul in the match, because we were pretty clear in our mind, like Kohli and Ravi Shastri, that they want the 15 best players currently in the in India to play this final.
Completely agree with that. Ronak, how has been this final? I feel it has been absolutely worthy of a final.
Yeah, I think before the final, I think the test, this entire championship itself is something that Test match really wanted. I think sports normally thrives on context and narrative, and Test matches as such didn't have that in the past. I mean, you would have bilateral series, but nothing much to play for besides a moral victory or just personal performances as such. with the championship coming in, I think there are points at stake. Each and every match is important, and as Sanchit mentioned, you wouldn't have seen those fourth inning chases in the past unless you had something at stake. You saw Kushal Pereira scoring a 150. You saw West Indies chasing against Bangladesh. You saw India against Australia. We saw a lot of fourth inning chases because teams were going in for the win, and that is something, a big change which has been brought about with this championship. So I'm very glad with the format. Obviously, there are some tweaks which need to be made because there are some flaws in the format as well. Because we saw that it moved from point scoring to percentage sort of mid-late. Plus all teams didn't play equal number of matches. So there are a lot of things which needs to be changed. But since it's the first time we are doing this, I think it's a good start. With time, I think this will become as big as a cricket World Cup is. I mean, with the hype and everything. And for this match as well, I think the hype was real because despite the fact there was rain, there was something to talk about every day. The narratives change every day. The situation changed every day. We were also talking about whether India will change their team or not when it started. So there were a lot of things to be discussed, a lot of things to be spoken because it was a very, very good build-up for the 2 years. And I think the best two teams qualified. And I think let's hope that this championship goes ahead and makes test matches as interesting and as appealing to people than like how T20s do.
Yeah. In fact, I like how Drupal is using an Instagram filter. पूरा सा sunlight आने वाला सा face आ रहा है उसपे. That's fair. Anyway, any comments?
Afzal, you raised your hand.
Oh yeah, sure.
So as cliche as I might sound, at the end, cricket is the real winner here.
Yes. No, that's not that. That's a fact. मतलब we actually cricket ही जीता है यहाँ पर.
Yeah, but there's an interesting comment on Insta. India will have to bat aggressive if they are looking for a win.
Yeah.
Even bowlers will also have to give their best. Complete teamwork. So yeah, and also there's a comment by Cricket Gaming Motion. Gut feeling who will win.
मतलब gut feeling बता दो कि मतलब we understand, we all want this. हम लोग logically बोले ये वो, but Dhoni mentioned the other day मतलब कि you know gut feeling के हिसाब से जाना चाहिए. So Drupal, what's your gut feeling? What's going to happen?
नहीं बताना मुझे, sorry. I think you got my answer right. तो मुझे
Afzal?
Draw होने वाला है.
But will it be a fighting draw कि मतलब you know एक moment तक जा रहा है and then it's a draw, or will it be पूरा safe play post?
नहीं, it will be a cracker of a game. Like you will always have some moments जहाँ पे शायद दोनों टीम के पास जीतने के equal opportunities हो, but at the end एक fighting tough draw होगा. Cause जितना time हमने खोया है उसके हिसाब से I don't think कि result possible हो पाएगा इस match में अभी.
Okay. Sanchit?
Well, actually, Ashish in the comments said that ki jinx New Zealand. And to be very honest, this is a difficult question to answer, especially if you try to mix between being emotional and practical. But my gut feeling right now it's edging towards New Zealand only. I don't know why, but I'm sensing that bit of a nervous energy around this test match. But hopefully it doesn't happen. But gut feeling is New Zealand as of now.
Okay.
Ronak?
60% draw, 35% New Zealand, 5% India.
My God, this is based on what calculations, bro? Interesting.
Calculation from yesterday's and today's discussion.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Fine. Fair enough. Yeah. Yesterday's discussion. My God. I remember Drupal, you just said कि ये interesting नहीं हो रहा है क्या? तभी यथक ने यहाँ पर mention किया था, bro. It was a news debate. People were over, like talking over each other, constantly raising hands. So भूल गए थे, I think. They were just speaking. After a point, I had to bring my Arnab inside me. This is my show, and then I had to stop everyone. But anyway, I think
IPL throwback, guys. IPL throwback.
Yeah. Absolutely. In fact, I kind of really enjoyed this conversation as well. We are getting close to the match, and I feel this has been completely worthy of a final. It started off with us criticizing the rains and the idea of having a match in England, but now we kind of appreciate because वो rain नहीं थोड़ा ज़्यादा interesting कर दिया है. But let's hope कि अच्छा game of cricket हो, and like Afzal mentioned before, and कि let cricket be the winner. Thank you so much for joining, guys. Ronak, Drupad, Afzal, Sanchit, I'm Kunal, this is Sanika, and we'll connect with you again at lunch. Hopefully, fingers crossed with some good news. Ki acha ho. And Sanchit, if it rains, do not join for lunch show. We are going to beat you up. So thank you so much for joining. This is BATV Fan Doosra show for the Test of Champions powered by Dafa News. See you at lunch. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.